Charleston's real estate market is booming, and there are 5 suburbs that are growing faster than anywhere in the Southeast. One of these areas saw an astounding 165% population growth in just the last 10 years, and another area has seen 96% appreciation in price in 5 years. Everybody focuses on downtown Charleston, but the smart money is looking at suburbs that are growing faster than anywhere else. Make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to tell you the #1 place I would invest if I was thinking of moving to Charleston today. Let's start with the suburb that is leading the pack. I'm talking about Johns Island. This place is on fire, and there's a reason why smart buyers are heading to Johns Island right now. Johns Island is growing faster than any suburb in Charleston. Population is up 94% since 2010. That's not a typo. We're seeing a quiet farming area turning into one of the hottest real estate spots in the Southeast. Johns Island's population has almost doubled to more than 28,000 people. No other area in Charleston County is growing this fast. Homes are now selling for just about $615,000. That's up 65% in 5 years. 65%. You can't drive 5 minutes without seeing new homes being built on Johns Island. Everyone is rushing to be there, and there's 3 big reasons why. First off, it's huge. Johns Island is the largest island in the US at 84 square miles, and it's got a great location. It's only 10 to 15 minutes to Key West beaches, which is way closer than Somerville, and it's just 20 minutes to downtown Charleston. Plus, there is still lots of land on Johns Island, so you can continue to build new houses. Johns Island is like a mixing pot right now. New people move there every day, but you still have beautiful old farms and amazing oak trees. It's like the perfect mix. You have nice new homes, and you still have that relaxed island feel. You're close to both downtown and to the beach. I'm going to compare this to Mount Pleasant, which is totally different, and that'll be in just a little bit. Mount Pleasant's particularly built out already, and it's kind of night and day in difference in terms of growth potential to Johns Island. The new neighborhoods on Johns Island are super nice. You got places like West Beach, Fenwick Woods, Kiowa River Estates, and St. John's Lakes. Many new homes mix that classic low country look with modern features. On Johns Island is one of the only places in Charleston you get really big lots and mature trees. They really feel like they belong. Now, I gotta be honest, there is one problem with Johns Island: traffic on Maybank Highway, especially around River Road. It gets super bad in rush hour. But talk is that Mayor Cogswell wants to add another lane. If that happens, it'll be a total game changer for the island. If you follow real estate trends, this is like Frisco or Prosper in Dallas just a few years ago. Johns Island still has years of growth ahead, but once it's built out, values could jump like we saw it happen in Mount Pleasant and on Daniel Island. Smart buyers aren't waiting. They're getting into Johns Island now. Well, prices are still pretty low because there's still lots of land. And by the way, if we haven't met, my name's Matt O'Neill. I've been helping Charleston families find their dream homes for over 20 years in Charleston. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my neighborhood tours or market updates. I share these insider tips every week to help you make a smart real estate move in Charleston. Now, while Johns Island is still taking off, let's take a look at a neighborhood that's already established itself as the luxury hotspot of Charleston. This is where high-end buyers are flocking, and I'm gonna show you why. Next up, we've got Daniel Island. Daniel Island is the Beverly Hills of Charleston. In a minute, I'll show you an amazing feature here that you'll never expect to find in the low country. Daniel Island is where luxury buyers are going. Population on Daniel Island has jumped 165% since 2010. They've added 972 new homes in 2023 alone and 258 more new homes in 2024. It is like a planned community done exceptionally well. The luxury market in Daniel Island is super strong. Home prices, they're about $1.5 million as of 2025. That's up 96% in 5 years. It's almost doubled in 5 years. New homes often cost $2 million or more on Daniel Island. So what's so special about Daniel Island? It's all in the planning of the community and in the nature. There's an area just outside of Daniel Island called Point Hope. It's huge with 9,000 acres. It's like twice the size of Manhattan. Half is saved as natural wetlands and natural areas. Also, schools on Daniel Island are top-notch. Philip Simmons School just opened a few years ago, and it is first class. On Daniel Island, you get waterfront living throughout, and you're close to downtown. You're about 20 minutes to downtown, and you're also close to the airport. You can get to the airport also in 20 minutes because 526 runs right through Daniel Island. We're going to talk about Somerville a little bit later, and you're going to see a similar planned community concept, but at 1/3 the price, which is why so many families are choosing Somerville as their place to land. Daniel Island isn't just a place to live. This is a total lifestyle. Like, everything about the island feels luxury, and you don't feel cut off from the rest of the low country. People in Daniel Island, they know their neighbors, and there's block parties and events. It really feels like a real community because it actually is a real community where people care about each other. The extras on Daniel Island are amazing. 2 private golf courses, one by Tom Fazio and one by Reese Jones, are available through the Daniel Island Club. Plus, you have 25 miles of trails that are absolutely spectacular. Beautiful waterfront parks and boat docks. There's also tennis courts where like the best pros in the world come to play. Downtown Daniel Island has shops and places to eat. It's also got dentist office and doctor's office and attorneys. Everything you need is right on the island. The Point Hope plan is probably the biggest project Charleston has seen in modern times. It's a multi-billion-dollar investment with housing for thousands of families and 4,500 acres of protected green space. The building happening in the Cainhoy area just side of Daniel Island is something that Charleston hasn't seen in over 100 years. It's because Daniel Island is such a draw. Everyone wants to live there, and for good reason. Now, there are some things to watch out for because there are some environmental challenges that might slow some things down. Also, HOA fees are high, and you need at least $1.3 million to get into a single family house on Daniel Island. Also, it's backed with smart planning. New homes are getting harder to find, so resale homes are selling fast on Daniel Island. Now, what if you want all the prestige of Daniel Island without paying that DI price tag? This leads me to our next suburb. The established champion has been setting the standard for Charleston for nearly 3 decades. Now let's look at Mount Pleasant. This is the area the other suburbs wish they could be. It isn't a place that's on the way up. It's already up, and it's been up, and there's a good reason. It costs a lot to live in Mount Pleasant, but it's one of the coolest communities Charleston has to offer. Mount Pleasant's growth has been 44% since 2010, with almost 98,000 people living in Mount Pleasant right now. Now, this isn't the crazy growth we see in other areas of Charleston. It's more like steady growth of one of South Carolina's most desired areas. Mount Pleasant consistently ranks as one of the top places for families in all of Charleston. The market in Mount Pleasant is amazing, and it always stays strong. Home prices, $960,000 is your median price as of 2025. That's up 94% in 5 years, almost double. Average household income in Mount Pleasant is $121,000. So you're looking at high earners who are paying a lot of money to live in a very nice place. Why does Mount Pleasant keep doing so well? Well, there's a few keys to it. First up, you've got a bridge straight to downtown Charleston. You don't have a long drive to get down to the best restaurants in town. Also, schools in Mount Pleasant are the top in the entire state of South Carolina. And Mount Pleasant offers shopping and restaurants everyone from town wants to visit. There's also extremely nice neighborhoods like Ion, where homes typically go for $3 million or more, Carolina Park and Dunes West, where houses will sell more in the $800,000 to $900,000 range. But here's the thing about Mount Pleasant. It's pretty much built out. You're not going to see a ton more growth because there's not a whole lot of land left. So what does that mean? It means prices keep going up. It's a simple supply and demand thing. You've got a limited number of homes, and there's a whole bunch of buyers that want to live there because of the schools and how nice it is and how great the shopping is and how close it is to downtown and how close it is to the beaches like Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms. So you can't build new, you can't bring in more supply, and there's a lot of demand. So that's going to see prices go up. I'm going to show you an area called Hanahan, which is showing similar growth patterns to what Mount Pleasant did 15 years ago. I think Hanahan could be the next big thing. It's a place that you're going to want to get in early before Charleston continues to explode. Now, housing in Mount Pleasant is varied. The most coveted area is the historic district of Old Village. It has all the charm of downtown Charleston, but without the traffic. Houses in Old Village were built in the 1800s to early 1900s. It's like this old southern town. It's really awesome. You also have great waterfront and harbor views from Old Village. There's some family neighborhoods in Mount Pleasant that have pools and tennis courts and other amenities. You also can have your choice of luxury condos if you don't want any yard work, but you still want the charm of living in Mount Pleasant. Areas like the Tides offer very nice luxury condos that have waterfront views. And Mount Pleasant boasts newer planned communities like Liberty Hill Farm. Want to know the real secret to Mount Pleasant's price growth? It's not what most people think. Everyone talks about how close it is to downtown, but it's really a combination of great schools and the fact that we're running out of land. These two things together create a perfect condition for prices to keep climbing. Families who want their kids to have the best education and hang around other kids who also care about education choose to move to Mount Pleasant. These are usually the most affluent families. They're able to pay a pretty high price. A couple things to watch out for in Mount Pleasant. There's a limited number of homes, and the high prices there kind of makes affordability a challenge. Also, traffic can get pretty bad, especially if you're further up Highway 17 closer to Myrtle Beach side. And traffic gets worse during the school year, about 15 to 25% more traffic during school hours than during the summer months. As an investment, Mount Pleasant is the safest bet you can get in Charleston. Awesome location, proven value. You're not going to see like the explosive growth that you might with Johns Island, but you take out all the risk. You know Mount Pleasant is stable and growing. But what if I told you there's a place where your money is going to go twice as far? We're about to explore a hidden value gem that savvy buyers are flocking to. Let me take you to a suburb of Charleston where you can actually afford to live without giving up that Charleston lifestyle. All right, let me tell you about Summerville, South Carolina. This is the Charleston suburb that is redefining bang for your buck, and it's an awesome place to live. If the beach prices have you kind of feeling sick to your stomach, you're going to want to pay attention to what's happening in Summerville. Summerville is quietly becoming one of the smartest buys in all of Charleston and one of the most popular areas to buy and move. Summerville has steady population growth, about 52,000 people and a 21% increase in population. Home prices are only $355,000. Did you catch that? $355. This is where you get really good value in Charleston. Prices are up 48% in the last 5 years, which is solid growth, but they haven't doubled like Daniel Island or Mount Pleasant. And there's this community called Nexton that is totally changing all of Charleston. Nexton is like the place to be right now. Nexton is a planned community with over 12,000 people. They just added 700 new homes in the last year alone. It's not a bunch of houses. It's like a small town with restaurants and shops and schools. It's places to work, places to play. You can live, work, play, go to school all in one area. So why is Summerville such a good value? Let's talk about all the different ways. First up is the schools. Dorchester 2 School District gets an A rating and ranks number 15 in the state of South Carolina. It's the most affordable way to be part of the Charleston area and have great schools. And you have communities like we talked about with Nexton that have really nice extras that rival the more costly areas of Charleston. Summerville's putting money into schools, into roads, into stores. It's like a thriving, growing area. It also gives you access to the entire Charleston lifestyle, and it's half the price of places like Mount Pleasant. It's like walking into a store and everything's 50% off, but it's still super high end. Summerville's great for families, and it's great for singles. It's great for everybody. I love how this town mixes the old with the new. It has a historic downtown area, super cute, got lots of shops and food and southern charm. And then you've got brand new communities with all the modern features like resort style pools and walking trails and different things to do. You also do get bigger lots for your newer homes for less money. And there's a real sense of community in Summerville as well. They do events and festivals all the time. Just in Nexton alone, they've sold over 3,200 homes with all kinds of options. They've attracted big stores like Harris Teeter, Publix, even Hall's Chop House, which is the luxury steakhouse in Charleston. This has taken the attention of many businesses and homeowners. The new Nexton Parkway, which is 5 miles long, connects I-26 with Highway 176, making it easier than ever to get around Summerville. Here's the secret most people miss. Remote work is going to make Summerville even hotter. As more Charleston professionals realize they only need to drive to work 2 or 3 days a week, Summerville looks better and better every year. Why pay double or triple or even quadruple when you can have just a short drive away, a great community, like 1/4 the price? So what to watch out for? Traffic is the #1 reason people don't like Summerville. For people looking to invest, Summerville does offer a great mix of affordable pricing and good schools and room to grow. Let me introduce you to a suburb that kind of flies under the radar, but might just be the smartest investment in all of Charleston. Before I tell you about my final hidden gem, you should know that even most real estate agents overlook this next spot. I've saved one of my favorite hidden gems of Charleston for last, Hanahan. This is a suburb that most buyers and frankly most real estate agents totally overlook, but it might just be the hidden gem that the smartest people in Charleston know to buy in. Hanahan has the smallest population growth numbers of all the places on this list, only 25% since 2010, but check this out. It's showing the strongest price jump right now. Home values are going up, but they're still only $395,000. That's up 15% from last year. That's big. But There's about 22,000 people and a median household income of 84,000. Hanahan's location is outstanding for the price. It's right next to Daniel Island, right next to the airport. You're 20 minutes to the beach, you're 20 minutes to downtown, and prices are just south of 400,000. So there's the Joint Base Charleston, which has 90,000 people, and that drive is super easy. You also have access to the Cooper River, which means you can do boating and fishing right in Hanahan. And Hanahan schools are really good. It's a strong school district and a family-friendly area. If you're not looking to spend Mount Pleasant or Daniel Island prices, Hanahan is where I would tell you to look. You get a really nice subdivision without paying those super high coastal prices, but your location is super close. Price growth we're seeing in Hanahan right now looks like what Mount Pleasant did 15 years ago, and we know how Mount Pleasant has turned out. I think Hanahan is going to explode over the next decade. The housing market in Hanahan does have a lot of variety. You've got some older neighborhoods with really big trees and good-sized yards, and they're building new homes with modern features. There's some waterfront options along Cooper River, and there's mixed-use areas that bring shops and food closer to home. The city of Hanahan is putting real money into making life better. Parks and rec areas have been greatly improved. Downtown is getting a facelift. You got new schools and better roads that are coming all the time. Community events are helping neighbors meet each other here in Hanahan. Now, some things to watch out for. Shopping and dining is limited, and some areas near industrial zones can get kind of noisy. If you're looking for value with room to grow, Hanahan deserves a serious look. But wait, how do you decide which of these booming suburbs is right for you? That's exactly what we're going to cover in the next section. Let's break down which of these hot subdivisions might be best for you based on your budget and what you want. Plus, what these growth trends really mean if you're already owning a home in the Charleston area. If you're looking for pure investment growth, here's how our leaders stack up. Johns Island is the clear winner with those huge numbers and growth, and with more stores moving in and tons of momentum right now on Johns Island. But Daniel Island might give you a better percentage of gains if you're in the luxury market. Mount Pleasant is the safest bet. You're gonna have less ups and downs, but probably less growth in your prices too. I think Somerville offers amazing value, but if you're gonna pick it as an investor, Hanahan's probably where you're gonna see the biggest growth in prices over the next few years. So what's my take? For overall value, probably Somerville. It's got really good schools and it's got the best prices. But for pure investment potential over the next few years, I would definitely take Hanahan. I think it's undervalued for how close it is to downtown and how close it is to the water. So the question isn't whether these suburbs will keep booming, it's whether you're gonna get in before everybody else figures out what's up. So let's wrap this up. Here's the bottom line. If you missed out on buying in these hot suburbs earlier, now is a time to have a second chance. If you want explosive growth, look at Hanahan or Johns Island. If you want luxury living, definitely look to Daniel Island or proven value like Mount Pleasant. And if you want affordability, Somerville's the best bet. But here's the thing, I've only just scratched the surface today. There's so many more insights I could have shared with you about all the things that make Charleston great. That's why I'd love to continue this conversation with you one-on-one. If you're thinking about making a move to Charleston, I'd love to help you. You can email me at sales@mattoneilteam.com or reach out using the phone number 843-619-0401 and we'll get in touch and we'll help you make a great move. I've helped over 5,000 families just like yours find the perfect home in Charleston. And if you're still researching the best neighborhoods, make sure to check out the next video where I share the area I'd personally choose right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.